Welcome back to The Why. I'm Lauren Magarino. This hour, we're asking why the wellness industry is booming. It's projected to grow by $1.4 trillion by 2025. And a major factor in that is the growth of health and wellness coaches. Our next guest is an MD turned wellness coach who says she grew so frustrated with the limits of traditional medicine that she left the medical world and decided to grow and inspire the next generation of wellness mentors. Dr. Kim Foster, thank you for coming on The Why.
Thank you so much for having me, Lauren. It's my pleasure to be here.
Of course. So first, I really want to know a bit more about what exactly a wellness coach is. Can you explain that?
Yeah, so a wellness coach is somebody who fulfills a role that really up until very recently had not been fulfilled by any other healthcare professional. This is the gap that I talk about all the time in the healthcare system. You know, many of us have had the experience of going to see our doctor who tells us what's happening with us, tells us what to do about it, then sends us away to go and do whatever they've said. And, that's whether it's to lose weight, quit smoking, start exercising, whatever it is. But making those changes is really hard, right? So people walk away with no idea how to actually make those changes, how to implement them into their life, where to start, all of those things. So, and quite frankly, doctors don't have the time or the skills in many cases to actually walk people through that whole process of the why. But that is exactly what wellness coaches do. So wellness coaches take all of the, people who are motivated, who want to make changes, but just don't really know how to overcome their obstacles, how to overcome their, whatever it is that's going on in their life that's stopping them from making these positive life changes, and helps them to make those changes so that they can actually turn their lives around, improve their well-being, all of those kinds of things.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is easier said than done. So it makes sense to have that support with a wellness coach. Do you need any medical or professional background to do this?
Yeah, so that's such a great question. And to be a wellness coach, no, you don't need a medical or conventional healthcare professional background. And the reason why I say that, I take a stand for that, because, I decided when I was 17 that I wanted to go to medical school, but most people, don't necessarily make that career path decision in the beginning. But I take a stand that if you want to, if you are feeling called to help people, to improve their lives, to improve their well-being, then I take a stand for people who are wanting to change their careers. Now, do you need training? Yes, you absolutely do need training. But the difference is between, a conventional training and education in a healthcare profession and training to be a coach is because a wellness coach's role is not to be the expert. This is not the, paternalistic, prescriptive approach that exists, of course, in healthcare system. But a wellness coach is more about helping people to find solutions that are going to work for them. And for that, you don't need to be, the ultimate expert in healthcare or be trained in a traditional healthcare profession. You need to be a good coach. You need to help people to overcome their barriers and help them find solutions. And those skills can be learned at any stage of life.
Let me ask you, though, is there like a training, and I know you're not saying in the conventional sense, but let's say I'm a person, I want to pivot to a different career. Is there something that I go to and, take 40 hours and this is my training or something like that?
Yes, there are definitely training programs out there, and I definitely encourage that. If you are feeling, whether you come from the healthcare world or not, you need that training to learn how to actually coach people, because that is a real skill, and that's not easy, to help people to really look inside and figure out why, even though they want to start exercising, why aren't they? So yes, you definitely need training to learn the skills of being a wellness coach.
I mean, and I ask that because it seems like almost anyone with a camera can go online and offer, wellness advice or sell products, especially in the age of influencer, TikTok, all of that. How do you separate the misinformation from actual wellness coaches who took that time to really invest in, this is what I'm doing?
Yeah, it's true. It's such an important topic. And there's a couple of things. So, it's important from the perspective of a consumer, of course, that you really do need to do your due diligence, be cautious, not just believe everything that you read or see online just because it's on the internet. But of course, this is true for all industries, not just the wellness industry. But That of course is why we need more people out there sharing really good information. And really, it's all about empowering people to look at the available information and make informed choices for themselves. That empowerment piece is so key. And that's also why I train all of my wellness coaches not to be dogmatic about things, to say, you have to do this, you have to do that, but really to recognize that everybody is different and has different needs. What works great for one person is not going to work great for another person. And that's the stance of true wellness coaching, is really to help people to find solutions that are going to work for them and empower them with the right information.
What are you seeing as the biggest reasons that more people are interested in wellness? What's driving it?
Yeah, so I think there are actually a number of things. I mean, this has been going on for a long time, of course, well before the pandemic, although, of course, the pandemic kicked health into our consciousness. Yeah. So than ever before. But even before that, and I think, one of the things that I witnessed, practicing conventional family medicine for 20 years is the desire, the need for people to have that empowerment and that agency over their own health and well-being. It's really a response to the frustration that many of us have experienced, me included, from both sides of this exchange, right? The frustration of that prescriptive, paternalistic model of conventional medicine and wanting to take the control and the power back for ourselves of, what can we do to improve our health? The other piece is the holistic approach. Really, like, people are craving a more holistic approach to healthcare, or to taking care of their well-being, and that emphasis in wellness on prevention, being proactive, looking for root causes. All of those factors are things that people have felt is missing in the conventional healthcare system.
With that said, you bring up holistic. Why do you think people are craving a more holistic approach to health than the traditional medical route?
Yeah, well, it's kind of an interesting thing. Like, as medicine has become more and more, advanced and, more high tech, I have noticed that it becomes this polarizing thing. So medicine is becoming increasingly high tech, and it's all so much about the latest pharmaceutical or high tech intervention. And I think it's just a human need. People are craving that more holistic, in many ways, back to basics approach. Like, what can I eat that is going to help me feel better? What choices can I make on a day-to-day basis that will improve my well-being? And really, embracing the simplicity of that, just in response to medicine becoming increasingly high-tech.
All right, Dr. Kim Foster, thank you so much for joining The Why and sharing your insight. We appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.